Jack Armstrong here. Shout out to Six Nations and all the indigenous territories across the world. Love you folks. Thank you so much for being such big sports fans. And I tell you what, if you're not watching my good buddies, the Harv and Jace show, you better get the garbage out of here. Become a member now at harvandjace.com.
It's the Harv and Jace show.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Whoa.
Get that garbage out of here.
Get that garbage out of here.
Wasn't that awesome? That's like the best thing ever.
Jack Armstrong from the iconic Toronto Raptors voice. The voice of the Raptors, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, what a wicked icon that guy is.
Wicked. And like his voice is like synonymous with the Raptors. It's synonymous with basketball.
And blocks.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite.
Get that garbage out of here.
I actually watched TSN at basketball, and I know they're coming because you know they're coming.
Oh,
you know, hello, and you know all this stuff. And man, get that garbage out of me.
So,
Yep.
I think that's.
Thank you, Jack Armstrong.
The best thing ever, Jack Armstrong.
That was really cool. If you haven't seen what we're talking about, go check out the video. We have it up on YouTube now. We have it up on Facebook.
Yeah.
So go subscribe to our YouTube.
harvandjace.com.
Yep. And our Facebook. The video is on there to see that Jack Armstrong one. Man, check it out. Laugh. Share it with your friends. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah. The best.
What's up, dude?
Just
we're back
the
again.
JT. I rocked the Austin Matthews last week.
Right. Now it's the captain.
Waiting for that W.
Right.
So, and we got it. And I'm hoping to put that same feng shui out because, you know, we got Edmonton.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
And we don't have that score yet, but they're playing again on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping
3-1, man.
Yeah, the Ottawa game was a bit of a letdown.
Right.
But, you know.
I felt like they were they felt like they weren't skating. I felt like they just thought Ottawa was going to come in and just skate around or whatever. But Ottawa came hard, man.
They did.
You know?
Yeah, Freddie Anderson as a traditionally slow starter, they say. Right?
Every darn year, isn't that crazy?
This last game, he was great.
He almost got a shutout.
Yeah, against Winnipeg.
Which is the fast skating team, right? So, like, the Leafs came.
And a highly offensive team.
Right. The Leafs came to skate those games, though, but I just don't think they showed up for Ottawa. And sometimes they play down to their competition that I've noticed over my years. You know, like they can say, oh, take these guys for granted. And these guys come like a, wrecking ball, you know?
How about that Wayne Simmons debut?
I know. And that fight?
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was great. We were down 3-1. He sparked the team.
Turned it right around.
Holy crap. Now we're 3-1.
Big Joe, Jumbo Joe.
Scored. A beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm just so excited to watch the Leafs. Like, every line that comes out, you want to watch them.
Yeah.
You know? Like, even the fourth line.
That's a fun team to watch.
It's a fun team to watch, man. So, they're 3-1. I don't know if they won or lost last night, but they could be 4-1.
I'm going to say W.
Yeah,
just because I got the shirt on and I'm putting it out there.
And I got the So-So Native shirt from my good buddy David Strickland on tonight. I see you got the mojo, so we're repping good here, man.
Yes.
We're repping good.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever mentioned my backroads picture, did I?
I don't think you did bring it up. I know the history of it, but I don't think you did bring it up.
This thing is like from Saturday, March 18th, 2000, and it's a poster from my first professional show with a big band and everything, right? Yeah. It's insane. The album, the Backroads Blues Band, was written by Doyle Bomberry, who writes songs for like me and Leah Bell, and he's an amazing lyricist on Six Nations and does great songs.
Good friend of ours.
A great friend of ours.
Great friend of the show.
Yeah.
We should get him on here, actually.
We should get him on here. Talk about music, man. He's a great music guy from Six Nations, right? Mm-hmm. And the best thing about it is my brother Darren was on that show, and he signed that, so it's like the coolest thing ever. What a cool gift, man.
Yeah, and you got that from Rob, right?
Yep, Rob Bomberry. Shout out to Rob. That's cool. Shout out Rob, man. And all our subscribers out there, man, like the ones who watch all the time, like thank you.
Yes.
Like you
Thanks
guys
for subscribing and listening and watching.
Yeah.
I heard from some old friends that it's just like hanging out with us again. They haven't seen us in a while, right?
That's exactly right.
It's just like hanging out with you guys again, and you guys are still crazy.
Right. It's nuts because we try to get the camera right close. So like if you're sitting with us, it's like you have your coffee. You're right with us, right?
Have a cup of coffee.
You're ready right there. Let's cheers up.
Cheers.
No, that's cool. I think that's cool. That's the idea of the show, is to have conversation. But like not be dirty or downright, just not be political or headline grabbing or anything, just to do like we do, not be anything different than who we are.
Get down and talk and
that Six Nations vibe, right?
Get some issues out there.
Yeah, totally, in a nice, good way.
Yes.
I want to thank Cap and Chuckies again, if you can see that.
Yes, Cap and Chuckies.
Yep.
On the plaza on 6th Line.
Yep, 6th and Chiefswood.
6th and Chiefswood.
Yep, so there's a brand new plaza there. Make sure you go in there. They have the best subs and soups and stuff, everything,
The subs are so fresh.
And they sell,
so
like,
good.
lied corn.
They're like deli sandwich subs.
Crazy. Yeah. Like,
nice.
Totally. And they have specials, so make sure you get down there. They're, like, really cool, fresh food. So make sure you support Cap and Chuckies.
Great staff and an atmosphere,
right.
too.
And they cater the Harv and Jace show.
Yes, they
do. So we thank you. It's going to keeping us nice and plump for the wintertime, you know. Yes. We got to stay warm.
Yes. It sticks to the ribs.
Like hibernating bears.
That's right. That's my clan, so, you know, I got to do that.
So you're a hibernating bear?
Yeah. The hibernating one.
I've been watching a lot of Wahlburgers, so they have that Boston accent.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So it's
I was trying to talk like Boston, like I was trying to,
Boston?
Like the park.
Yeah.
Like, you want to go for a walk in the park?
Exactly.
I was watching YouTube videos one night, like for too long, and then I ended up in this documentary called Mountain Talk, and it was all like hillbilly. And I got deep into that for about 45 minutes, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
And they talk wild. You actually literally need a translator.
And they were trying to say that they speak how their ancestors who came from Scotland and Ireland originally spoke. That's their dialect that they spoke. So I'm like, wow, that's
insane.
Some deep hillbilly stuff.
That's some deep stuff.
Yeah.
We got some news from Landback. You know how we like to update the Landback lanes goings on. They're still in like a standstill. The last time they opened up the roads here, Carolyn Bennett promised to come and talk to them if they did it. So they did. They opened the roads, and she didn't do it.
A sign of good faith on our part is always put forth and never reciprocated by them. Never reciprocated.
No, but the thing is, the roads are opening. They're going to open. Landback Lane is going to open up the bypass.
The bypass, which is all good and well.
Amazing.
Hopefully, it doesn't look as a sign of any weakness, because that's not what it is. It's a sign of good faith and a gesture. Like, let's try to get this thing moving along.
Yeah.
And it is for the emergency vehicles that need to access it.
You hit it right on the head, because I felt like the community was, saying, let's get one of these roads open so we can, get ambulances and, emergency services here if needed, right? Thank goodness nothing's happened. But I think kudos on them for, it's not political. They're actually trying to do what the community wants, right?
Right. I seen they have a website now.
Yep, a survey.
With a survey.
Yep.
And that's about just community output.
Right.
And input.
Did you do the survey?
Not yet.
I did it. And it's so quick. Yeah. And they ask you some fundamental things, And it's great to get your point across. They're trying to get every Six Nations member to do that survey so that they can take that and have some firepower for the government and stuff. Say, look at this unity, right?
They should, and everybody should take part in that survey and do it. If you're a Six Nations member, do it.
Yeah.
I urge you to.
Yep.
Because that will show the unity, and that's what we need.
Right.
Unity is everything.
And those questions are asking about, what do you think about the moratorium? How long should it be? What land should we protect? Like, all these great questions that Six Nations members need to be accountable for and stand up and have their voice heard, right? Like, it's so important.
Yes.
And they want to set that precedent for our grandkids, right? So now's the time to speak. And then there's a spot in there that just says notes or comments, anything you want to do. And I just use it as an opportunity to kind of just say, why doesn't everyone prioritize in that comment box the top 10 things that they think the res should focus on? Infrastructure, roads, healthcare, child education, and mark them from 1 to 10. I think that would really help that survey.
That really would.
Yeah, so that was my suggestion, and I put in there my 10 things. And so if you do that survey, that's just an extra thing, but I think that would be good information,
Yeah, I'm definitely going to, after the show tonight, I'm going to go home and do this survey.
Yep, so that's awesome. And we can support Landback Lane. They still have things on their Facebook website that you can get, like mitts and hats and tents.
Yeah, they're still looking for the GoFundMe stuff, right?
Yep.
For their legal fund. Just
they're almost
supplies,
there.
Winter supplies.
But it's ongoing, right?
Yeah.
They're not leaving. They're fighting for that land, and they're not letting go of it, and that's great. That land's Six Nations land, right?
It really is.
So good on them. And then we also want to thank Miracle Mans. Jesse Miracle Mans. They got a new location open up soon. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's going to be awesome. Nice big building going up over there. So congrats to them. Thank you so much for supporting the Harv and Jace show, dude.
Yeah. Like Jesse's a great community member.
We hit 20,000 views on all our videos so far, man.
Awesome. That's so awesome, man.
That's a lot of views.
It's encouraging to think that there's some hope out there for us. Yes.
That's rattle-worthy. And for, like, you look at these YouTubers or whatever and these influencers or whatever, but they have millions and millions of views, but they got to start somewhere. They didn't just start with 200 million views, 200,000 views, right? So we're really, really excited, man.
Maybe we're on our way. Yeah, we got some
great guests.
Big things on the come up here.
Right. We're actually got great news about a guest that we're speaking with tomorrow.
Right. Autumn Peltier.
Yeah.
Who is like world famous.
Indigenous royalty.
Yeah. Like,
we're all royalty.
Maybe not everybody knows her, but I've known her for a few years now because of my involvement in Standing Rock, which was all about water protection.
Right.
And she is like a water protector. And
she's known globally.
She's known globally.
Global ambassador for the protection of water. And
highly decorated.
Yes. And she's
only 16 years old.
Yeah, something like that. She's been going for a long time. And she just gives the most passionate speeches at these delegations, in front of these world leaders and stuff. And I just can't wait to talk to her. She's from Wemekong.
Manitoulin Island.
Wow. So, yeah, this is cool, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so, and then we got a Vaughn Harris interview coming up. So we just released our Jennifer Podemski one, which is an amazing conversation. We're so lucky, dude.
I still want to get a hold of that tea that we drank at her house.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it was, but
when
it
I
was
talk to
so
her,
good.
I'm going to say, tell us what that is so we can order it.
Send us a bag.
Then we could have some more right on the Harv and Jace show.
Heck yeah.
Joe Biden is officially the president. He was sworn in.
Yes. I watched some of it, the inauguration.
Yep.
But it wasn't.
Wasn't
as flashy or as wild as I expected it to be. So
thank goodness.
Which was good. Yeah.
They had 25,000 National Guard on.
Yeah,
because
they needed to.
Last time, there's no way 200 people
look
are going
at
to storm.
The incidents of January 6th.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's what made that. So
I was so happy though that all the 50 states didn't have these big uprisings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's probably was a little grand delusions on Donald Trump's part.
I think so.
To think that maybe he doesn't have that many supporters. When you kind of look like you lost it in front of the world, right? And he's kind of going crazy there at the end. And he pardoned all kinds of people at the end too.
I didn't see his pardon list, but I heard like Lil Wayne or
I don't think it was Leonard Peltier, which should have been.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm pretty sure Leonard Peltier wasn't on the list.
That's awful.
Maybe Joe Exotic.
Right? I don't know. I think that would have been plastered all over the news if we did that, right? So I don't think that happened either. But Biden plans to introduce a $1.9 trillion economic rescue package as one of his first orders of duty. Isn't that amazing?
That is awesome. And like the Keystone thing, he's supposed to have
canceling it.
Hopefully right now.
Yep.
Like as we're speaking,
canceling
literally, he's canceling this Keystone thing.
Oil. So what a big
which is
a win for Indigenous.
Win right there.
Right. The ones who were fighting for it. If it wasn't, they weren't fighting for it, he'd have no reason to cancel it. Right. It would just go forward. Right.
Right.
So like, I'm really happy. Like the people who stood on that, who are on the front lines for that pipeline. That's a big win.
Yes.
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah, and it's going to affect a lot. Like I seen Trudeau's a little upset about it because it's going to.
Well, they put up some money already, right? They're going to lose some money.
Yeah, but oh well, man. Like it's a cleaner world we need to look forward to. So. And
so that's really cool. And another promise that people are trying to hold the new president to is to decriminalize marijuana across the USA.
Right.
Because there's some states who decriminalize it, but you could still get charged like federally, you know what I mean? Because it's still basically illegal, right?
I think it should be decriminalized everywhere,
right?
Which is better than legalization because
it's hard.
Yeah.
Because it's
if
new.
you decriminalize it, at least it's not a crime to have it,
right?
Possess it, whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing a lot of things right out the hop there. So, but some more crazy news with Donald Trump. He's going to be gone soon, I hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, hopefully he just like fades away.
Yeah.
Like he's Booty Tans.
I have a feeling that his show is going to pop up again right after like
The Apprentice.
The Apprentice is going to be up again.
I'll watch it too.
I know. I'd be just shaking my head at it, going,
Yeah.
but I can't get enough.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're
Oh,
fired.
yeah. But he was impeached for the second time, becoming the only president in history to be impeached twice.
Well, he was all about, like, I did this, I did
I was
that.
the first
I did
president to do this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's the first one to get impeached twice.
And they're actually trying to take it further right now. Like, if he becomes like charged and with the inciting that riot, if he becomes officially charged, he would be like disqualified from running for president again in 4 years. He wouldn't be allowed,
Which is probably a good thing.
wouldn't be allowed to run again, right? Remember we were talking about that? We thought maybe that was what he was trying to do.
That's what I totally thought he was going to do.
Right.
Like, just, come back in 4 years.
Yeah,
Or maybe it'll be his son, Don Jr. Or
Right.
his daughter.
But
even worse.
Look what he tried to do. He tried to get the presidency to be like Russia, like where he didn't have to give up after a couple terms, that he could do it ongoing because we're in a state of emergency and stuff.
Right.
Like, he's a sneaky guy. He's a sneaky guy.
Trumpy.
He's a
I see
backdoor
like New
guy.
York pulled out on some deals with him
Right?
because of
They did. The city of New York.
this insurrection.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just weren't agreeing with it. They pulled out on all his deals to the tune of like $17 million.
$17 million a year,
lost.
which is a pretty big hit.
That's a
Right,
huge
yeah.
hit. Oh, man. So I think that's just the first domino to fall. A lot of people are going to distance themselves from him. They're even talking about taking his appearance out of Home Alone 2.
Cool.
Yep. Macaulay Culkin was like, yep. Get him out of there.
Get him out of
Get
here.
him out of there. You're out of here.
Yeah.
You got to love that Boston accent.
No, you do.
I've been watching that Wahlburgers. It's actually an awesome show. They have 10 seasons, and I love anything that has to do with brothers.
Right.
Because I can relate to it,
Right.
and I just love brothers that work together and love each other in spite of the fights and the history,
Right.
like how
Yeah.
family fights and you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they can't replace that love, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
That's a pretty decent show too.
Yeah, it's
like
funny.
I used to watch it back in the day. I
yeah,
think.
it's kind of an older show now, right?
Yeah, I went to Wahlburgers
In
Actually,
Toronto.
The one in Toronto. I went to one in Coney Island.
Is
as
that
well,
right?
In New
That's
York.
amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
And there's one in Las Vegas, like in the Strip, but I never. I
Amazing.
don't think I went to that one.
Those guys are awesome. Oh, going back to the insurrection, right?
Yes.
Some of the on January 6th was the day that Trump urged 1,000 of supporters.
The storming of the Capitol.
Yeah, exactly. Where
Yeah.
it was confirmed 5 people were killed, right?
Right.
And including Brian Sicknick, a Capitol building officer, who the police say they're investigating 37 people involved in that beating death.
Wow. 37 people.
Yeah, were that incited. They were that filled with, like, they killed somebody.
Yeah.
They killed somebody. And 98 people have been arrested so far, and 275 suspects have been identified in that craziness.
Hopefully they pay for their crime, like.
Especially those 37 people that
Yeah,
beat that
like they
officer to
murdered
death.
somebody.
Yeah,
There's-
in cold blood.
Yeah, for
like
no
a
reason.
group, like a mob mentality too. That
Right.
must have been scary.
Like that's terrible stuff.
Yeah. So it's just unbelievable. I'm so happy for the
Hopefully they face
change.
justice.
Yes, and I'm hoping that this change, like Biden, it's a wave and a new breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah.
So we can start over.
That's what we need, man. A breath of fresh air
That's it.
and like
Some unity.
Without a mask.
And some love. Some love. We need
Yeah.
love, man. Too much hate in this crazy world, man. A runaway prisoner in Australia. Did you see this? He got stuck in a tree.
yeah.
And he was naked.
Buck naked.
He must have had that jail, it's just that little gown.
Yeah.
And
Probably just the onesie, right?
right?
Like,
And he probably used it, to sleep on or
Yeah.
whatever, and he must have lost
Right.
it or whatever, and
over an alligator infested
yeah,
swamp or
the
something.
tree he decided to go to sleep, and
Yeah.
he got stuck, man, because there was an alligator infested swamp all around him, and so he was just stuck there, couldn't leave. He thought he would die.
Crikey.
Yeah, right. And then some fishermen found him, and he went straight back to jail.
Back to jail.
Isn't that nuts?
Surviving off of snails or
Yeah,
something,
eating
right?
those slugs and stuff like that
Yeah.
out of the trees. Isn't that nuts,
Man.
dude? Trying to get his freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy,
That's
dude.
tough. He's no
Australia.
Crocodile Dundee.
It'd be different if he ran away from jail, like, say, Brantford, right? There's none of these crazy things. Like, he
back
went
in the day, I
Australia.
used to hear like Birch. Guys used to go to Birch
Oh,
jail,
yeah.
and which is really close to the res,
Yeah.
right? And there's just a cornfield. There's really no fence around there, so those guys, at yard time, some of them would just
Take off.
take off through the cornfield and call it like cornfield parole.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
No
Just crazy.
alligators there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They'd be a little more safe if they had to sleep out in the elements, right?
That's right.
K2 Mountain. Have you heard of the mountains like Mount Everest and all these big things?
Yeah, the huge ones.
Yeah, K2. I think they even did a movie about K2. I'm not sure.
Maybe in the Cliffhanger.
Yeah, something like that, right? But K2 Mountain is in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world's second largest peak at 8,600 meters high. A team of 8 climbers from Nepal became the first mountaineers to successfully complete a winter attempt on the summit. No one's ever tried that before.
Wow. That's a
winter one.
That's a remarkable feat.
I know.
Because like mountain climbing seems like it's deadly. Like people die.
It's absolutely deadly.
Yeah.
I just seen a 19-year-old went out and she fell off a cliff, and she died. Right.
Yeah, because it's so dangerous. Right?
yeah.
Like you're so high up, you're gonna fall, or else you could get caught in the elements and freeze to death. Or
And her phone died. But the last person she called was her boyfriend, and the police are saying like if she would have called us, maybe she'd be alive, right? Like. So they're urging people, if you get in that situation, don't use your phone to call family. Like, call the police so they get your coordinates and they can start coming to find you right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Man, that's scary.
Yeah, that you got to have that Find My iPhone.
I know. Man, I'm scared, man. I'm scared of anyone that does that stuff. So, Mount Everest is the highest peak at 8,800 meters, right? But I just thought that was cool because everyone done it in the summer, and it's still hard. But to do it in wintertime, like crazy.
Yeah,
Why?
it's tough.
Why?
Yeah.
These guys,
they got just something to prove.
but
maybe.
they're the first in history, so that's a good feather in the cap, man.
Really,
right? So no one can take that away from them. So crazy up to those guys, like literally.
Nepalese.
Canada is slowly rolling out the COVID vaccine. People are really upset with how slow it's happening.
Yeah.
I guess production and delivery problems. Despite being one of the first countries to approve the vaccine, Israel leads the world with 26% of their population is already vaccinated. Isn't that crazy? Guess what Canada's is?
Like 1 point something.
1.44%. That's it.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
I know.
Because I seen Ford was lobbying to
He was trying to get
Biden. He's like, he's got hundreds of millions over there. You could at least shoot us $1 million.
I know.
And and like just to help us get over the hump until we
he's
get
furious.
some. And I'm sure they could, but
right?
It's just a game too to them.
He's furious, and I don't know what that game is. Like, why are you messing with Canada?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're
like why would Biden do it? I could see Trump's whole point because Trump was Trump.
He's probably trying to undo that. Remember we talked about Trump's that little clause in there that it had to be for America first. Remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's coming into play now.
Maybe that's what's coming in, and Biden can undo it, and then these vaccines can come over. Who knows?
But Canada's got to approve these other ones too, because they're just sticking with Pfizer, and that's what happens sometimes when you just stick with one. They say that they're going to be doing really, really well, like in the future, but
they say they're still on course for every Canadian to be vaccinated by September.
That was the original plan, right? But we'll see how it happens. USA has 3.71% of their population vaccinated, and they're 10 times bigger than Canada, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's crazy. What also, which is kind of encouraging news, in Ontario, it seems in the last 7 days the COVID has been flattening.
Yeah, the numbers have been dropping.
Yes, remember it was going like up to 4,000, 5,000.
Crazy numbers.
Now it's down to about 25, 3,000 a day again, but like every day, not going up and down. So
I liked I didn't like it, but back in the day when there was like 80 per day,
Right,
like, wow,
I know.
Whoa, and now there's,
right. And we thought that was scary.
Yeah, and that was lots.
Right?
Yeah.
Get up to 5,000, but now it's flattening, and that's good news, I think, man.
Yeah, well, the shutdown thing has been, 2 weeks now?
Right.
So
it's got to be seeing the effects.
I've been going to Walmart to do my curbside pickups and all that. So,
and if there's one thing we learned from that first wave, people, is that as soon as they lift the restrictions, don't go crazy. You know how everyone just right back to the malls, right back to the restaurants, right back to the,
Yeah.
Come on, we can't do that. Like, then that'll be a third wave.
Yeah,
you know
ease
what
up.
I mean?
Ease up. You got to ease in.
Ease. You got to ease in.
Don't
you know
just
what I mean?
go right all in. You got to ease in.
Yeah, you got to ease it, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just ram it and go full tilt.
That's right.
No one's ever had success doing that.
Yeah. What are you, a young guy?
That's those young bucks, isn't it?
What are you, a young guy?
Look at those young guys.
Thinks he's ace.
Oh my God, just going right for it, ramming it right in there.
Right in there. No. Come on now.
We gotta ease it. No, we really do have to ease it, man.
Yes.
All jokes aside, right? Like,
Right. All jokes aside, ease up.
Oh, from the Harv and Jace, we say it with all due respect.
Oh yeah. It's from the Harv. From the Harv.
It's from Harv's heart.
Heart. Yeah.
All right, you guys are gonna do whatever the hell you want anyway. Oh, that's cool, man. A 30-year-old man suffering from opiate addiction. This kind of a sad story, dude.
This is a wild
This
one.
is awful. He was diagnosed with bipolar, recently stopped taking his medication, became severely depressed. But instead of pills, like he felt like they weren't working for him.
Right.
He decided to try magic mushrooms.
Psilocybin.
Yep, exactly. And he turned it into a tea. But instead of digesting, which people would normally do,
Right.
he like mainlined it, like
injected
it with a needle into his veins,
Yeah.
dude. And he got seriously sick. Like it starts shutting his organs down.
Like septic shock or something.
Yeah,
wasn't
everything. He was getting jaundice and he was in
It? And he had mushrooms. They found out growing within his veins. Right?
Yes.
And that's what was clogging his veins up.
Yes, they found a blood clot in his veins, and then under a microscope, the mushrooms actually took root and started growing in his blood.
That's insane.
That magic mushrooms, that hallucinogenics, all those components, like, oh, crazy.
Yeah, just stick to the old school methods.
Yeah,
kids.
so don't do that, kids. Don't
do
that,
not
kids.
inject them.
Do not inject magic mushrooms.
They're only made for drinking or eating.
That's right. And I guess the doctors just filled him up with his body with like antifungal and antibacterial, and it cleared him right up. Isn't that insane?
Yeah, they probably.
There's mushrooms growing in his veins.
That's crazy. That's like the other guy had mushrooms growing in his ear.
Right.
Like,
From sharing earbuds.
yeah. Whoa.
Man, that's crazy. How they
Better watch your sources. If you're eating mushrooms out there,
right.
check your sources.
Some ear mushrooms.
Yeah.
Some vein
some
mushrooms.
vein mushrooms.
You got those vein mushrooms?
Straight from my vessels.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
No, it's terrible
It's
stuff.
terrible, terrible stuff.
But yeah, I do understand how he was using the mushrooms in place of opioids.
Right.
That's awesome. That's,
Yeah.
that's so much better of a choice. But, not the method he used.
Just kind of freaks me out how mushrooms can take root real quick in places.
Yeah.
Holy man, that fungus and bacteria is scary, dude.
Right? Optimal growing conditions inside of him, I guess.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yee.
I found some cool Six Nations history that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Because that's part of the reason why we started the show, is to get information out there that why don't we know this stuff?
Right.
We're from Six Nations. I was wondering when we were growing up, like, why doesn't Six Nations like celebrate Robbie Robertson? Because I was a musician.
Right.
And I couldn't believe it. So, we bring him here, right, a few years back, and give him. So Robert Robertson received the first Six Nations Lifetime Achievement Award. We put a team together to bring him in. So
Awesome.
like things
And
can
very
happen.
well deserved to him.
Very well deserved, but now the res and people around us know of that, right? Because nobody knew about it. Like, it's crazy. Nobody even knew Robbie Robertson had heritage from Six Nations, right? Like, his mom was from here, born and raised, right?
Right.
But anyways, some more cool Six Nations history. Did you hear this? Arnold Anderson, Tuscarora from Six Nations. He actually worked with Albert Einstein.
Yeah, the Manhattan Project.
On the Manhattan Project, dude.
Yeah.
Which
and the A-bomb, right?
developed the first atomic bomb that ended World War II.
Yeah.
How big is that?
That's crazy.
An indigenous person and a team of indigenous people. Actually,
And it's crazy that we never knew this stuff, really. Like, it just...
they take all the credit.
Yeah, I kind of seen it somewhere on Facebook maybe
Right,
recently.
right.
And I was like... And everybody's like commenting like...
It's insane.
Why doesn't nobody know
I
this?
know, because people take credit for it, right?
Right.
Almost like Alexander Graham Bell. He doesn't get credit for inventing the telephone.
Right.
In the States, they believe it's someone else, right? So it's just like crazy. And then also, He was the president and founding member of the American Indian Science and Engineering Society with 6 other American Indian scientists. So it was not only him, it was like a team of indigenous scientists that helped end World War II. Isn't that insane?
That's great.
It reminds me of like the Wind Talkers too. Remember that code helped?
Like the Navajo code.
And that didn't come out till years later too, right? All these people like.
And it wasn't just Navajo. It was like Oneidas, like.
Exactly.
A lot of our.
Because they couldn't dial into Navajo or Mohawk or whatever.
Right.
It was just gets confusing, right? Like we had such a huge impact on the world and the history of the world, right? And so it was really cool to find that out. And something else I found out
Arnold
Anderson, Tuscarora from Six Nations, man.
Yes.
Worked with Albert Einstein.
Wow.
It's insane. Helped end World War II. We wouldn't even be here with it with him, and it's crazy, dude. And then some more Six Nations history. Country legend Johnny Cash. He played
Man in Black.
Played in Brantford back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Was given his indigenous name from Chief Joseph Logan from the Six Nations Confederacy back in 1970. And the name translated to "He is coming with a song." I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Johnny Cash, man.
Yeah, I didn't know he had. I knew he sang about the Senecas,
Right.
but I didn't know he had ties to our actual.
Right. Yeah, and I
rest.
guess they gave like his wife like a headdress, and like they treated him to everything. And Johnny Cash autographed his Bitter Tears album.
Yeah.
And I guess they still play it right now, like at the Iroquois Lodge to the elders and stuff like that. That same
and they got
album.
the autographed copy
Yeah.
On the wall there,
With Johnny
right?
Cash. Isn't
Yeah,
that
that's
crazy?
great.
Great history. So I just
Yes.
thought we'd talk about that because those are cool things that I don't really hear anybody talking about that kind of
Right.
stuff, man.
Yeah, I know Johnny Cash was an advocate for the
Indigenous rights.
indigenous rights.
Yep. So yeah, that's awesome. A woman.
Cool. Very cool.
He's very cool. If you could say cool with a S, what would it be?
Cool with an S? So cool.
Oh no, school.
Not school. Too cool for school?
That's hilarious, man. A woman in Toronto has been playing the same numbers her husband saw in a dream, allegedly, 20 years ago. She's been playing them every single week, right? And they finally hit and got her a $60 million jackpot.
Ace. Good for her.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
I always thought that would be like the system, the same numbers, you know?
Yeah.
Because if you keep going random number all the time, like what's to say that you're just always going to be
Yeah,
missing?
yeah. You might just miss it every time.
Right? But on like you can go online and like the OLG, you can type in your like your number sequence, and it'll tell you how many times it's won. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
Really?
Oh yeah. So
have
it's
to check
like
that out.
yeah. So that I always thought that system would work, but it turns out it did for this woman. Just play the same numbers till you drop, and then if you don't hit them, like who knows? You know,
Just got to stay loyal to that same number for 20 years.
That's pretty cool.
And it might hit.
It might
hit.
Oh, you might lose that 20, 30 grand you spent on
That's right.
trying to win.
Which is probably likely.
Hopefully not your
likelier.
house. Hopefully not your house, because a lot of
Yeah.
people gamble too hard. Too high.
Yeah, they go all in.
They go all in.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
Controversy has been brewing. We talked about this a little bit since the summer on the hit TV series Yellowstone, starring Kevin Costner. Back in August, did you see that Adam Beach was calling for a boycott of that?
Yes, because of some cultural misappropriation, I guess, or
Right.
cultural
The
identities.
leading actress
theft.
in there had ties allegedly to Cherokee Nation, and turns out she didn't. She's Chinese and white.
Right. Well, her last name was Chow.
Right.
So
But she
like
changed
that,
it to Esbicely or something.
Oh, okay. I was
Like,
gonna say because that kind of give it away to me.
I know.
You know?
She also did the Wind River movie, where she played an indigenous woman as well. And like she got so much backlash saying you can't do it. She's like, oh, it's in my blood. Like it's acting, and you know what I mean. Like, but
Right.
when you watch that show, did you ever see the show
I've
Yellowstone?
never watched the show. I've been meaning to.
It's her character, like it's like has so much to do with being indigenous that it's like sickening to watch, because you know she's not indigenous. She doesn't know.
man.
She's drawing on stuff that she has no idea about. Crazy stuff, dude. And she's like trying to feel it and stuff. Like, so I think that's very disrespectful.
Yeah,
man.
that's not right at all.
Yeah. So
No, I
know.
don't want to watch the show.
I know that's what
I
people
was
are
gonna
saying.
watch the show.
I
No, I don't want to watch.
So you got to
the
make
show.
your mind up, because I'm telling you right now, once you get to those scenes, you're not going to like it too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's powerful. Kevin Costner is in it, right? Great actor. We did with the
Kevin
Dances
Costner,
with Wolves.
aka Dances with Wolves.
But a lot of
himself.
those actors were white too, right? In
Right.
those movies too. So
Stands
it's
with a
like,
fist.
Tatanka.
Yeah.
I like the one where they said we call him Walking Eagle, and he thought it was all proud, and he's like, why? And he's like, because you're too full of shit to fly. I'm proud. They call me Walking Eagle. Good for you.
Yes.
Tamara Bell, a veteran of Canadian film and member of the Haida Nation, is proposing a bill that protects Indigenous identity across all sectors. The Indigenous Identity Act would have all people like confirm their identity when they like say I'm Indigenous, like
Right.
for movies, for any kind
Which
of
would
jobs.
save a lot of
Right.
things like this chow thing.
Totally.
And
Because she did say I'm from X and X Reserve, just like that Latin. Remember, she said I'm
Yep.
from X and X Reserve, and then it came out and said no, she's not.
Right.
Same with that Chow. She said I'm from this reserve, this Cherokee bloodline, and they came out and said no, we can't find any trace of her or any evidence
Right.
of her. So it's like, God, that's crazy.
yeah, you got to
dude.
back up your claims if you're going to claim
Yeah,
stuff.
totally. It's almost like even when I put my music in for the Junos, like if I want to go put it into the Indigenous Album of the Year, they actually send a letter to you. So they're kind of take it off their hands, right? They put the onus on you,
Yeah.
and they say, take this, and you need 2 community references, right? And you can't get those if you're not from that community, right?
Right.
I'm not going to be able to call you, and I'm a stranger to you, and say, hey, say I live beside you. You know what I mean? Would you
Say I'm from your res.
say we grew up together, you know,
Right.
playing pond hockey? Would you like, who would do that?
Right.
So I think that's kind of like put in place. I kind of think that would be a good thing, don't you?
Yeah,
That-
it's legit. It adds more legitimacy to
Right.
a lot of actors.
and she even went to say it further, like if people are like profiting off being pretendians, they call them.
That's exactly what it is.
Right.
It's like the white shamans and stuff
Right.
that go out there and do medicine ceremonies
Exactly.
and stuff, and they don't know what the hell they're
But
doing.
they know that Indigenous people have access to money, so they come and they get that money, and it's like they're not even
Right.
Indigenous. It's supposed to be by Indigenous for Indigenous people, right? So it's
Right.
like Shakira, Shakira, one of the
Yes.
best dancers from
Her hips don't lie.
That's right. She has become the latest artist to sell their entire music catalog. Remember we talked about this all year?
Yeah, the Bob Dylan one.
Yeah, and Neil Young too.
Neil Young too.
Yeah,
Wow.
the whole catalogs, dude. It's
And
like
Neil Young's got a catalog.
I know.
Oh, well, so does Bob
I
Dylan.
can't believe it. I mean, people are cashing their chips in, man.
Yeah.
They don't think it's gonna recover. I think they don't think music's
I
gonna
don't know.
recover.
Maybe
Man.
they've given up hope.
They just said
That's
cashing
too
in their
bad.
chips.
Well, Neil Young and Bob Dylan, they're old as
but look at
F.
Shakira.
But Shakira is still.
I
She
know.
could still go.
80 million records sold, right? And
Yeah,
you're like,
she just performed at the Super Bowl not long ago with J-Lo, remember?
I know, right? She's at her peak, and you usually don't sell your stuff when you're at your peak, right? You usually
Right.
sell it when no one cares no more, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know what people are doing. I think they're kind of freaking, man, about
Yeah.
music. I don't think they think it's going to recover, but I do. I have a lot
I'm
of hope
hoping
in
that
music.
these people are just jumping the gun.
Yeah.
And, everything will steady out
Right.
and be good again.
Like we've been doing it almost a year now, so maybe by September, like you said, with everyone, get things going here. 69-year-old actor Liam Neeson is retiring from action movies. He says he's getting too old now.
69. I didn't think he was
69.
that old.
I know, right?
Like, I know he was up there, but.
He's one of those guys that don't age, right?
Right, yeah, he's
Steve
looked like
Martin.
he was that old for 30 years.
Steve Martin's looked like Steve Martin since I was born. It's
Right.
crazy. It's insane.
right.
Exact same hairstyle, everything.
Yeah. And he's like 70 something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. He was famous for the movies like Taken. Did you see
Taken.
the
Yeah,
huge
1, 2, and
trilogy?
3.
Yep. And so yeah, he admits that age is taking toll on him. It's hard to keep up with like the 25-year-old actors who are like fit and
Right.
yeah. So
In their prime, and he's 69
that's what he said. He
years
said,
old.
"I love beating up guys half my age." Though he said, so it keeps him going for now. But
Oh, yeah.
69, dude. My dad's 70. I can't imagine him jumping off cars and
Punching
falling off
25-year-olds
buildings
out.
and fighting 25-year-olds. Like, come on, that's crazy. But that's cool though that he
Yeah.
went that long.
Yeah, he's got some longevity, I
Right.
guess.
To be
Or some good stunt doubles, maybe.
Oh, Walk Among the Tombstones too. One of my favorites
Yeah.
that he'd done. So really cool. So that's really
Qui-Gon
cool.
Jinn
Yep.
from Star Wars.
Yep. So that's cool. Great actor. Betty White celebrated her 99th birthday.
Ooh, she's the goldenest of all
She's
the girls.
the goldenest of all the girls. Unbelievable.
Yes.
She began acting in 1939, was most recently in Toy Story 4, but I just love that longevity, man.
Yeah,
99.
she's hilarious too. Like
Crazy.
She's funny.
She had a lot of success. She's
Yeah,
like
and she's not really a dirty comic. You know,
Right.
she don't swear. She's not vulgar.
She's like the grandma of America.
yeah,
a
she's just
grandma.
funny.
Yeah. And like we were talking a bit about the Leafs earlier, John Tavares leads the league with 6 points right now, which is really cool.
JT.
The Toronto Raptors are getting hot. They won 3 in a row now after they had that stumble out of the gates there.
Yeah, they had a pretty good game that last one I watched. Johnson.
Yep, Stanley Johnson.
Stanley
He's
Johnson.
an amazing defensive player, man. Yeah, they're starting
he stood out anyways.
Yep, him and Chris Boucher, I don't know where we would be without him. Kyle Lowry has become only the 3rd active NBA player to score 10,000 points and dish out 4,000 assists with one team, like with his current team.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome, that longevity.
Yeah, Lowry's great.
And the Blue Jays have been really busy. We were talking about this before the show.
Yeah.
First, they signed their president, Mark Shapiro, to a 5-year contract. I guess they're rewarding him for, the turnaround since Jose Bautista and Donaldson and all them. They had to build from the ground up.
Bringing in Vladdy Jr.
All these kids, Bichette, the future, right? But right away, he got right to work by signing George Springer.
Springer, to MVP.
A former playoff MVP, World Series MVP. To a 6-year, $150 million deal. He's one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball, averaging 27 home runs a year, and with a career batting average of 270.
Some nice numbers for a leadoff hitter.
That's amazing. Yeah. With all the people that are in that lineup, it's going to be madness, dude.
Looks like they're on the come up. Toronto wants to be title town.
Yeah, I feel like they've made big strides, right? They made the playoffs, right, last year with that young core, and they think they're going to make a jump, right? So they got Hyunjin Ryu, right, one of the best pitchers. Now they got one of the best outfielders. Closers. Yep, and they signed Kirby Yates, who is, as of recently, 2019, was one of the best closers in baseball, where he had 41 saves and a 1.19 ERA. So they're signing some big-time players, man.
Yeah, they're making some moves.
The Blue Jays are going for it, kids. And did you see James Harden got traded finally?
Yeah, to Brooklyn.
To the Brooklyn Nets to make a mighty 3.
Yes.
Kyrie Irving.
That's going to be a tough 3, because they all seem like...
the same player.
They're not good guys to have teammates.
Harden doesn't really play defense, right? He wants the ball.
And he wants the ball.
Yeah, Durant wants the ball.
Kyrie Irving wants the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. They've been winning, though.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Harden and Durant were together with Oklahoma before, so they have some kind of chemistry.
And any good
already.
players will make whatever sacrifices they need to make for their team to win and get to where they need to go.
Oh, you remember when Miami did the Big 3 thing? LeBron and Wade and Bosh, right? So it's amazing that people are still just going with that model formula to win. Just bring
it can work in the right setting, but I don't know if these 3 guys can work together.
Right. That's going to be interesting to see. And the Raptors.
All 3 great players.
I hope it's the Raptors and them in the, before they go to the championship. That would be great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really cool. Evander Holyfield is training hard. He says that he's preparing and he's offered to fight Mike Tyson for a 3rd time. And he believes it could bring in $200 million in revenue.
I'd pay to watch it.
I would pay to watch it, too.
I would pay $50.
I would pay to watch it, and I would bet you that he'd bite the other ear out. He'd even him out.
Or maybe Evander would get some revenge and try to bite Tyson.
Maybe he would get revenge. You see those memes of Holyfield with his mask is hanging out. He's like, "F you, Tyson." That's bad. See, we can't make fun of that because that could be mean.
Right.
And Nate Robinson's still down.
I had a bag of weed. It was called TKO.
Oh, no.
The picture of the TKO.
Don't tell me.
Nate Robinson. Sleep.
Yes. Nate Robinson sleep, and the product's called TKO. That's brilliant, man.
It was.
He's going to want some of that.
That's right.
That Owista.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills, have you been following them?
They
flexed a little more muscle, beating the Baltimore Ravens 17-3 in the AFC divisional round.
It was
Crazy.
Quite a dominant win.
I couldn't believe it. How well they work together, and Diggs and Allen are absolutely phenomenal together. The Bills will take on the Kansas City Chiefs, who advanced but lost Mahomes to a freaky injury. Did you see that?
Yeah, concussion.
Like pile driver into the ground, man. It was crazy. And he got up and he was like, he was gobbledygook. Man.
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't see, he couldn't talk.
I'm thinking if he's not there for them next week, Buffalo's going to take him easily.
Totally, because it was scary with Chad Henne. Even though he did a great job, you could sense, that they were scared. You know what I mean? I
was scared for them
without their best player. So, so I hope he plays because you don't want to see those are the matchups you want, right?
Right.
Josh Allen versus Mahomes. That's what they've been talking
Right.
about all
And then
year.
the other
Let's see
side-
these guys together.
On the other side, we got a couple veterans again. Brady's going against Rodgers now next,
Yep, Rodgers. Yeah.
next week.
Oh my.
So that's a couple of
gosh.
veterans.
It's kind of crazy. So you got two of the old guards going, then you
Right.
got two of the young future guys going,
And
and
then-
then they're going to meet up.
That's right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't write it any better than that. The football gods.
That's right.
So yeah, that's really cool. Stephon Diggs from the Bills led the NFL in receptions and receiving yards this year, and he was named a first-team All-Pro.
Nice.
Isn't that
It's
cool?
been a while since the Bills had a wide
Right,
receiver.
a
and
standout like
up
that.
yeah.
Crazy. Conor McGregor is fighting on Saturday. You gonna watch?
Dustin Poirier. I might. Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's rumors that Poirier might drop out, but
Really?
yeah, but I don't know. Max Holloway said he would fight if somebody dropped out.
Did you see his performance?
Right? No.
He fought a free one on
Like,
this
yeah,
past
yeah,
week.
like a week ago.
And it was amazing.
Crazy.
Max Holloway dominated.
But he wants to fight again. Like he
Yeah.
said, he drops out, I'll fight 7 days later. Isn't that
Oh,
nuts?
yeah.
Doesn't even want to heal up. The last time they fought, McGregor scored a TKO 2 minutes in the first round. McGregor then said after this fight, he believes a boxing match between him and Manny Pacquiao is almost a certainty to happen.
I
Isn't
think
that amazing?
Pacquiao would dot him up in a boxing ring, but
I don't know,
he
man.
stood in there decent with Mayweather, but I don't think Mayweather went at him as...
Right, but Pacquiao would.
Yeah, I think Pacquiao would
Is that
go
what you're
at him.
saying?
Yeah.
yeah. He won't like dance around for 12 rounds.
Right.
Like, yeah. He'll try and fight.
Yeah.
But maybe that will work in McGregor's fact.
It might, because
That's what he's used
McGregor's
to.
like a...
He's used to fighting.
Yeah.
He's not used to being on the defense the whole night and getting tired, right?
Right.
He's used to fighting, slugging it out. So
I'd
that'd
watch
be great.
that fight too.
Totally. We'll slap our money down on it.
Yeah.
And we're almost done the end of the show. But I just wanted to mention this because this is really cool. Sarah Thomas will become the first female official to work a Super Bowl game this year in the NFL. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, the ladies are making strides.
Yes. Oh, we're so excited. That was great, man. Another week's come and gone. We had a really good time,
Yeah,
good chat. I just want to thank you guys for watching our show ongoing. Got us up to over 20,000 views now. Make sure you go to our website, harvandjace.com, and become a member because
Yes.
we're going to start giving away prizes to members. We're going to start putting them in draws and get exclusive content and shout outs from us on air, right? So make sure that you go and sign up on harvandjace.com, become a member, subscribe on our YouTube channel, and comment, like, share. And our Facebook page is growing. We got like 800 likes now. That's crazy, dude.
And if you're not like watching or subscribing, then get that garbage out of here.
That's right. That's right. That's what Jack Armstrong said. So we got to go with him. We wanted to give a shout out again to
Cap and Chuckies.
Can you see that, Ev? Cap and Chuckies.
Try out the roast beast.
Can you see that good, Ev? Yeah, baby. Awesome. Cap and Chuckies, Miracle Mans. Jesse, thank you. All you guys' support helps us to grow, get better, keep the content, the guests. I can't wait to talk to Autumn Peltier, dude. That's
gonna
epic.
be great.
And we're so excited that you guys are here for the journey. And we got some great news coming up that we can't mention or share yet. But we're so close to announcing some big news. Really big news.
On the cusp.
Stay tuned. Keep subscribing. And we'll see you again soon, guys.
Yeah.
Yay!